Hi everybody, Jessica here. My pronouns are she, her. So today's class is going to be an energizing, mostly standing flow. We're going to explore opening up the heart nice and gently, getting into the shoulders, and then of course activating the legs since we'll be standing. Getting into some warrior sequences, and we will have one moment towards the end of the class where we come down to hands and knees, and one downward facing dog. So if all of that sounds good for you, grab a couple of blocks and I'll see you on the mat in just a moment. Hi everybody, so we are going to start standing today. Let's take a nice wide stance, maybe a little bit larger than hip width distance apart. Close the eyes and just start to come into the breath. Before we get moving, we'll take about 3 deep breaths together here. Just getting ourselves grounded and ready to move. Two more deep breaths, just breathing in through the nostrils, softening the belly, extending the chest forward, inside out. Maybe bring the hands to the body here for the last breath. Very good. So let's stand at the front of the mat and find upward salute on the next inhale. So inhale, bringing those arms up. And exhale, folding forward, bending into the knees, being nice and gentle. That's our first movement of the day. So if you want to bring blocks under the hands to make it nice and gentle, go for it. Maybe bend into one knee and then the other, allowing the head to be heavy. And one more breath here. Inhale to halfway lift, lengthen the spine here, gaze comes down. Exhale, melt down. Inhale, arms come forward, bend into the knees, upward salute, reaching up here. Exhale, hands come to the waist. Let's step back with the right foot for a warrior one. So big step back with the right foot, heel points back, toes forward slightly, hips are squared off to the front here, reaching up. Holding this for one more breath. Then we're going to bring the hands behind the back here. So clasping the hands behind the low back here, keeping the bend in the front knee. Inhaling here, pulling the shoulders back, chest forward. And exhale, find a fold. Folding the torso over that front thigh and bring the arms up. Inhale, back to warrior one, pressing into that front foot, reaching up. And exhale, hands to the waist. We're going to pivot to find our warrior one on the opposite side. So pivot that front foot so it becomes the back foot, and the back foot becomes the front, taking your time here. Warrior one, opposite side. 2 breaths here. And we'll interlace the hands behind the low back here. Pull those shoulders back, chest comes forward. Stay bent in that front knee, big inhale. And exhale, find your fold. Pressing into the feet. And inhale, back to warrior one. Exhale, hands to the waist. Pivot back to the front of the mat. Step forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Pull the shoulders away from the face. Exhale, fold. Inhale, upward salute. Swing the arms up. Lift up nice and slow. Exhale, hands to heart center here. Next inhale, we're going to step back. Once again with the right foot, finding that warrior one stance. But this time we're gonna keep that front leg nice and long, no bend in the front knee. And we're just gonna open the arms up here. So back arm opens up, front arm opens up, palms forward, really pressing into each foot, finding your strength here. And if it feels good, maybe you come down a little bit, maybe stack the shoulders. One more breath. Inhale, arms come up again. We're gonna find that on the other side. So again, pivoting, taking your time, bring the hands to the waist for stability. And we'll find that on the other side. So inhale here. Lengthen through that front leg. Palms forward, fingertips are active and splayed. Really extend those legs straight as much as you can. And one more breath. And open up. Let's pivot both feet to the front, opening up the arms, keeping them extended. Closing the eyes. 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Hands come to the waist here. Let's step forward, taking a big inhale, lifting up. And exhale, folding forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, melt. Inhale, upward salute, bending through the knees, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the waist. Let's find that again. Inhale, stepping back with that right foot, finding our warrior one once again, squaring the hips off to the front, reaching up, sitting into that front thigh. Relax the shoulders down and back. And maybe a little back bend here if you can. So staying solid and firm through the feet, keeping that front knee bent, reach back. And then forward. Exhale, hands to the waist. You're gonna find that on the other side. So taking your time, situating the feet in the right position, bending through that front knee, lifting up. And then maybe a little back bend here. Maybe you just reach the arms back. Woo. Come out of this, come back to the center here. Now if your feet aren't already really wide, step them out really wide. Heels come in together, toes press out just a little bit. And we're just gonna find a squat, getting into the hips a little bit. So I like to start here by bringing the hands to the tops of the thighs, right where my thighs meet my torso. Squeeze your hands in, get a nice grip. Press down and then slide that flesh back as we find our wide squat here. And then you can release and find whatever hands you like. 2 more breaths here, maybe a little bit deeper if you can. Last breath. Inhale, lift up. Open the arms up nice and wide here. And then we'll interlace the hands behind the back here, keeping the feet where they are, and we're just gonna find a forward fold. If you don't feel stable with the hands behind the back, you can certainly release them and bring them in front of you. But if you feel good here, let's find a slight bend in the knees. Big inhale, squeeze the shoulders back, chest comes forward. And exhale, find your forward fold here. Hinging at the hips, releasing the head down. And you can keep the hands resting on the back here, or just keep them on the hips, or keep them in front of you. If you do have the fingertips interlaced, maybe lift the hands up. Sitting into the hips. 2 more breaths. Last breath. On the inhale, bring the hands to the hips if they're not already there. Extend that chest, hinging at the hips, long spine, come all the way up, reaching the arms up and overhead. Exhale, we're gonna drop the left hand to the outside of the left thigh, reaching up and maybe over just until you start to feel the extension on the right side of the hip. And once you start to feel it build, take a pause, press into the feet. And inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. One more breath here. And good. Come back to center here. Give yourself a little smile. Ooh, hands to the waist. Let's step forward. Inhale, arms up, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, melt down. Inhale, lift up, upward salute. Reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll step back with the right foot once again. Warrior one. Lifting up, bending into that front knee. And let's find cactus arms here. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms. Strong legs. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring the hands behind the low back once again. We are going to lengthen that front leg and step in just a little bit with the back foot. We're going to find an intense side angle here. So on the inhale here, stand nice and tall. And on the exhale with that front leg lengthened and straight, we're going to start to fold over here once again. Send that left hip back. Press down into all four corners of each foot. Legs are strong. And then we'll release our hands and stay here. Fingertips to the ground or to your props. And from here, take your two fingers, your middle and your pointer on the left hand, and bring it to the crease in your hip, right where your thigh and meets your torso, and gently press back and adjust that front leg to be a little more straight, just to get into the stretch. Relax that head. Maybe rock side to side here, sending the breath into the hamstrings, the calves, wherever you feel the lengthening. Very good. On the inhale, we're going to lift up. I'm going to take my blocks with me on the other side. So take your time, lift up, reach up here, and exhale, come to center, and we'll find this on the other side. So taking your time, bringing your props back down to the ground, finding our warrior one, inhaling here. Exhale, cactus arms, bend at the elbows, fingertips are splayed. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus arms, squeeze the shoulders together. Inhale, release the shoulders, reach up. And exhale, interlace the hands behind the back here. Lengthen through that front leg. Maybe step in just a little bit. Hips are still squared off to the front of the mat. Squeeze the shoulders back, chest comes forward. Inhaling here. And exhale, finding the fold, pressing into the feet. Legs are strong. Maybe we lift the hands. Maybe the hands come down. One more breath here. And then we'll release the hands if they're not already there. Coming down to the block and taking again our index and our middle finger into the hip crease on the right side this time and shifting that leg back, finding a more intense lengthening through the front leg. Relax the neck and the head. And try to keep the spine long here. So your torso may gently be resting on the thigh. It may be super resting on the thigh. Wherever that's at, that's fine. But we want to keep the spine nice and long and keep the gaze down or the eyes closed for one more breath. And inhale, lifting up. Ooh, taking your time, pressing into the feet, reaching up here, and stepping forward, shaking it out, shaking it out. And we'll come back to the front of our mat here. Inhaling, arms up. And exhaling, fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, upward salute. And we're gonna shift the weight into the left foot and find a one-legged mountain here. So hands come up to heart center. Start to kickstand that right foot. And then finding your balance here, lift that knee up. Floating foot is flexed. Ooh, pressing into the balancing leg. One more breath here. And then we're gonna inhale and shift this foot backwards and find a high lunge. So reaching the toes back far behind you, coming onto the ball of the foot, not falling, finding your balance here. Try to keep the heel lifted off the mat, and you can always spin it down if you need to for like a warrior one foot. Otherwise, lifting the arms up here, pressing into your balance and your strength, sitting into that front thigh. One more breath. Very good. Hands to the hips here, and we'll step forward. Take your time, shake it out. Inhale, upward salute, reaching up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, melt down. Inhale, upward salute. Think of shifting the weight into the right foot this time. And hands to heart center, we'll start to lift that left foot this time. Bringing that knee up, flexing the foot. 2 more breaths here. You are strong, you are balanced. And then we'll start to shift this foot back, moving nice and slow. Coming to the toes and then the ball of the foot. And then reaching up here, 3 breaths. Sit into that front thigh. Last breath. Hands to the waist. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, shake it out. Inhale, upward salute. And exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down. We're gonna find downward facing dog. Now pressing the weight back towards the heels, dropping the head, maybe shaking from side to side. A few more breaths here. And then inhale, start to shift the weight forward, come down onto the knees, nice and gently. And then we're just gonna come to stand onto the knees here. Inhale the arms up, reaching up. Exhale, fold, send the hips back towards the heels, palms come down. Inhale, lift up, maybe a back bend. Exhale, fold. Hands come down, press the hips back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold back. Last time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, hands come down, and let's find a child pose here. So bring the knees wide, send the hips back, and find your child's pose. Extending the arms forward, chest comes down, maybe the forehead comes down. I'll just take a few moments here, kind of tuning in to the body. Noticing the sensations, the spaces that were opened or lengthened. Pressing the hips back a little more.
And really stretching out the tops of the feet here. Finding a lengthening in the low back, reaching the fingertips forward even more. And really surrendering to this posture and finding a way to make it accessible in your body. You can stack the forearms if you'd like. You can bring blocks or pillows underneath the torso or the rib cage to bring the ground closer. But really take a moment and find a space or a shape in this posture that feels really good. Breathing through any of the lingering tensions you feel in your body. And visualizing your breath flowing to those spaces internally. Cooling them, offering them relief, loving intention, gratitude. If your forehead is on your mat, gently rock the head from side to side, massaging the space where your third eye would be, channeling clarity. And on the next breath, we'll start to lift up here. Pressing back onto hands and knees and finding a position lying on our back from here. So taking your time. So from here, let's grab our block and we're just going to come into a supported bridge pose. So keeping the knees pointed up towards the ceiling and the soles of the feet on the mat, walk them a little bit closer to the body here. And on the next inhale, we're going to press into the feet and the tops of the shoulders, lifting the hips up and sliding the block right underneath the back here. So kind of like right above the tailbone and below where your back starts to dip in, right on the sacral area. Allow the arms to open up, relaxing the shoulders down into the ground and allowing your sacrum to really rest on the support here. So not a whole lot of weight in the feet here, mostly the shoulders and then the block itself. And from here, you can stay in this position. You can extend the legs long, allow the feet to open up here. Or you can bring the knees up and the feet up, or any variation of that. Just take a few moments to allow your body to release into the ground, finding a nice opening in the low back. Maybe circling the ankles, maybe pulling the knees back and open wide to get into the hips. Finding any movements that feel good and playful and restorative to you. I always invite you to have a childlike curiosity with your practice. Never being afraid to try something new or to look silly or to fall even. And start to elongate and slow the breath here if you can. And we'll start to bring our feet down to the mat if they're not already there, nice and gently, with knees bent. And we're going to find our way off of the prop here. So again, walking the heels into the body a little closer, pressing up. Oh yeah, pressing up through all four corners of the feet. Removing the prop and maybe staying here if it feels good. Walking the shoulders in a little closer together. Palms are down, pressing down into the ground. Knees kind of come in together. One more breath here. And exhale, release one vertebrae at a time back down to the mat. Nice and slow. And we will take a moment here for our Shavasana. So finding any position that really invites comfort and ease. Taking up the space that you need. Gently rock the head from side to side. And allowing the breath to fall back into its natural rhythm without pushing any inhalations or exhalations. Just allow it to come and go on its own as it does. And as the thoughts run through your mind, choose a path of witnessing or clarity. Our brains are constantly working and thinking and moving and fluctuating on their own without our need to engage them or to push them deeper. The brain just kind of moves. So find a space where you can witness that movement without having to do anything, respond or engage. Sometimes it's helpful in meditation to visualize these thoughts. I like to visualize my thoughts as balloons in the sky as they run into my mind. And as I notice and identify them, I imagine the balloon pops. It bursts and falls down to earth, and it's gone. Start to deepen the breath here. Maybe wiggling the fingers, placing the fingertips on the body, somewhere where you can feel your skin. Allowing the sensation of your touch to bring you back into your body, back into this present moment. Maybe stretching out here, reaching the arms overhead, pressing the heels out. And
This reaches the end of our practice together. I hope that you feel calm and relaxed and strong in your body today. And I look forward to seeing you on the mat next time. Thank you so much.